Alright, this is me at the reptile zoo. And this is a Burmese python, one of the biggest snakes I've ever touched. It was heavy, calm, it wasn't scary though, but it was just powerful. And as I held it, right, I couldn't help but think, how did I end up here? To answer that, I gotta rewind a little bit.
Burmese pythons.
Burmese python.
Burmese python.
Burmese pythons.
Burmese pythons.
Burmese python.
Burmese pythons.
Look at this giant Burmese python.
This is the Burmese python.
So, what's a Burmese python exactly? Well, they're one of the biggest snakes in the entire world. They weigh over 200 pounds and they can be up to 18 feet long. And they're native to countries in Southeast Asia like Burma, hence the Burmese python. And that's enough of the boring facts, right? What's really intriguing is that why is a Burmese snake from Burma in the United States? Alright, so here's what I found. Back in the 1980s and the 1990s, people in the United States started importing Burmese pythons from Southeast Asia. At first, they were quiet and low maintenance at first, but then they grew. They really grew, right? And that's when the problem started. Alright, since they were too big for the owners to handle, the owners started letting go of the Burmese python, and they all lived happily ever after. Alright, I'm kidding, right? So, what happened was, the snakes just started dominating in the Everglades, in the nearby habitats and swamps and rivers and all kind of stuff. And that's when a problem arises.
Thanks for tuning in. Andrew here. Our hurricane, which continues to strengthen. Pressure now down to 974 millimeters.
Pressure up in here, and it's going to force Andrew in a westerly direction for probably at least the next 72 hours. Already hurricane watches have been issued for the north.
The one we're most concerned about, though, is Hurricane Andrew off the east coast of the United States, and I'll show you the latest particulars on that.
In 1992, Hurricane Andrew tore through one of the python breeding facilities in Florida. And cages cracked open, dozens of snakes escaped. And with Florida's warm climate, the snakes didn't just survive, they thrived. And because of these snakes, the 90% of Florida's mammals have been killed. What does Burmese python mean to Burmese people? So unlike the United States, right, we don't really see it as threats or invasive species. Back in Burma, people didn't really fear the python. It was a creature tied to beliefs, stories, and spirits. To some, it was sacred, but it was also a sign of power, a sign of protection, or even transformation. We didn't really kill it unless we had to, you know? But here in the States, it's almost seen as a monster, an invader, a threat, and it's a mistake that needs to be killed. And the thing is, the snake didn't really ask to be here. It didn't choose to leave its home. Humans brought it, and we kept it here. But because we couldn't handle it, the snake population just grew. But this is not just about a snake. It's about humans messing with things that we don't really fully understand. And we act surprised. We act as if it's the culprit when the wild pushes back.